The movie begins with a pristine white car cruising through the brightly lit streets of a bustling city. The vibrant glow of neon signs and the faint hum of the night set a deceptive calm. Suddenly, this white car starts following a black car, its intent shrouded in mystery. The chase culminates in an isolated area where the white car deliberately bumps into the black car. The drivers step out of their vehicles, with the man from the black car taking photos of the damage, most likely for insurance purposes. Without any warning, the driver of the white car, whose face remains obscured, lunges at the man, dragging him into the back seat of the black car. What follows is a brutal, merciless attack as the unknown assailant repeatedly stabs the man before leaving him lifeless. The killer calmly drives away in the white car, leaving behind a scene of utter horror. Fast forward to August 5th, a sweltering summer day, where two police officers find themselves stuck in a traffic jam. The radio inside their car broadcasts news of the murder, replaying the grim details of the attack. Frustrated by the standstill, one of the officers, T-Sock, steps out of the vehicle. His restlessness leads him to a nearby gambling den, known for its shady operations. The security guards, recognizing him as a cop, try to appease him by slipping a bundle of cash into his pocket. However, T-Sock, unimpressed by their audacity, retaliates by giving them a thrashing before arresting a man behind the counter for illegal money exchange. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit gym, a Mafia boss named Dong-Soo practices his punches on a heavy bag. His men interrupt to inform him about the raid on their gambling den. Dong-Soo, unperturbed by the news, calmly instructs his men to unzip the punching bag, revealing a bloodied and beaten man stuffed inside. The brutal image speaks volumes about Dong-Soo's dominance and ruthlessness. With cold efficiency, he gets into his car, followed by a convoy of his men. En route, he makes a call to a high-ranking police director, voicing his irritation about the raid despite the bribes he regularly pays to keep his operations untouched. Back at the crime scene, T-Sock, now accompanied by his partner, examines the area where the murdered man was discovered. The detectives uncover a vital clue, evidence of a rear-end collision preceding the murder. This discovery hints at a possible method used by the killer to trap his victims. T-Sock, ever sharp and observant, starts piecing together the narrative. Later, Dong-Soo meets with another gangster, Shang-Du, to discuss territorial boundaries. Their meeting, intended to be diplomatic, quickly turns hostile. Their bodyguards exchange heated words, escalating the tension. To assert his authority, Dong-Soo performs a shocking display of dominance. He punches his own bodyguard to silence him and then forcibly removes 2 teeth from Shang-Du's bodyguard with his bare hands. This chilling act leaves Shang-Du visibly shaken and unable to oppose Dong-Soo further. At the police station, T-Sock and his team analyze the victim's profile, noting his clean record and lack of enemies. While others are skeptical, T-Sock hypothesizes the possibility of a serial killer, connecting this murder with 2 other similar killings. His theory is dismissed by his colleagues, who are more concerned with the unauthorized gambling den raid. The police director reprimands T-Sock for overstepping his jurisdiction, but T-Sock remains undeterred, his focus firmly on solving the murders. Meanwhile, Dong-Soo, now traveling alone, becomes the target of the mysterious killer. While driving, his car is rear-ended by the same white sedan. Dong-Soo, unaware of the danger, steps out, only to be attacked. A fierce struggle ensues, with Dong-Soo managing to stab the killer with his own weapon before the attacker escapes by running him over. Severely injured, Dong-Soo is rushed to the hospital, while his men launch a brutal campaign of retaliation against their rivals, suspecting them of orchestrating the attack. The killer, undeterred by his injuries, continues his spree. He cleans his knife with an eerie calm and selects his next victim, a vulnerable old man whom he mercilessly stabs. The city remains gripped by fear as the body count rises. Dong-Soo, now recovering, assigns his men to track down the white sedan. When T-Sock visits him in the hospital, seeking a statement, Dong-Soo refuses to cooperate, citing the code of the underworld. However, T-Sock's investigation leads him to suspect that the killer may be targeting individuals connected to a larger hidden agenda. Subscribe, please. Peace out. We don't have too many subscribers, and we are making a lot of efforts to provide you our best work. Your single click on this subscribe button will motivate us to build a good relation between you and us forever. Please do. Despite the growing tension between T-Sock and his superiors, he pushes forward, determined to uncover the truth. As the story unfolds, the stakes escalate. The killer, now more brazen than ever, targets a female student who had borrowed an umbrella from Dong-soo on a rainy evening. Her murder triggers a wave of fury in Dong-soo, who sees this as a direct challenge to his power and reputation. The once calm gangster transforms into a relentless hunter, vowing to eliminate the killer at any cost. The climactic showdown begins when Dong-soo and T-Sock independently close in on the killer. Their paths cross in a chaotic chase through the city's labyrinthine streets, culminating in a dark, abandoned warehouse. Here, Dong-soo captures the killer and subjects him to unspeakable torture. However, T-Sock intervenes, crashing into the scene with his car. The confrontation between law and crime reaches its peak as T-Sock arrests the killer, preventing Dong-soo from exacting his revenge. In the final act, the killer faces trial, but the lack of direct evidence threatens the case. T-Sock convinces Dong-soo to testify, leveraging the gangster's desire for vengeance. In a dramatic courtroom scene, Dong-soo identifies a scar on the killer, sealing his fate. The killer is sentenced to death but is placed in the same prison as Dong-soo, where the vengeful gangster ensures that justice is served on his terms. The movie ends on a haunting note, with both T-Sock and Dong-soo reflecting on the cost of their pursuit. While the killer's reign of terror is over, the lines between justice and vengeance blur, leaving the audience questioning the true price of retribution.